How are we getting on, people? I hope you're all okay. Just back here today with another live session. What we're going to do is just go over some of the markets that I feel hold good potential for profitable positions, and also give you guys the opportunity to ask any questions if there's anything you are unsure about. We'll just wait for a few more people to join the live, and then we will crack on. What I'm also going to do, just bear with me 2 seconds, is just make sure that we are live on YouTube. And then we'll be able to crack on. YouTube Studio. Let's have a look. Got a position here potentially as well on the Euro US dollar. So that'll be good. Let's have a look. Perfect. Okay, so we are live on there. Go show a link. I just need to post this everywhere just so I can get people to join. Perfect. Okay, super. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and then I can just get back to you as soon as. But we've got some good opportunities coming actually. Just posting this link out to everyone. It will be a second, and then we can crack on. Okay, perfect. Right. What I will do is I will have this set up on here just so I can check the chat. 1 second. How are we getting on, people? So there's people joining the live on YouTube. That's great. Any questions? Just put them in the chat. I'll be back in just 2 seconds. I need to go and get my charge for my phone, and then we can crack on. Let me just get the stream up for this one. Yeah, that's all sorted. Also going to give this a wipe quickly so you can see me all a bit better. But yeah, man, any questions, just leave them in the comments. But we've got a position here basically that looks ready. Again, we've got a lot of the markets are pretty much in the works of playing out. So we just need to just wait for the final piece of confirmation, essentially. Great British Pound USD, again, another position. NZD CAD. We just need this break of structure to the upside, and we can start to look for positions on this. But this is definitely something that's also an unmitigated area here within price. So there's these 2 boxes, these 2 areas. We could refine that to that. XAUUSD. We need to see this react and start trading us higher. As I say, I'm going to be back with you all in just a second. I just need to go grab my charger for my phone. Be back in 2 secs. Okay, so to run downstairs. Because I'll use my phone, you see, just to check the chat. If there's any messages in there. If anyone has any questions. There's 5 people in there, so say hello. And let's crack on with some analysis. So I'm basically just going to perform some top-down analysis on some of the markets that I'm looking at trading this week. And then we'll go from there, yeah? How are we doing, Warwick? You're okay? From Australia? Wow. How are we doing, mate? How are we doing, Andy? Okay? Okay, so let's start with... We'll start with the Euro USD. So we've got 2 zones here. So let me just highlight these out because these are going to be areas that we can look to actually trade from soon. I'm like rushing a little bit because I just want to get these zones out for you all. So that's 1. This is the second one. 0917. 0.09. 1.0914. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we have two zones here. Basically, this market is trading us in a bearish way. We had the penetration of the higher time frame supply zone, and obviously we want to see this market go bearish. Yeah, we want to trade this market lower. We want to take advantage of the next impulsive wave trading us lower in this market. So we've been delivered with rates of structure to the downside. We've had confirmation that price is now ready to trade lower. We can see bearish structure being introduced. What we just want to see is obviously price react to these supply zones. We had a reaction. We placed a sell position yesterday. We went into some profit. SL was moved to entry. We got stopped out at entry, unfortunately, but we have seen price actually sweep the supply zone, and then price started to respect those supply zones. So I marked this out as an area. Price has come up to clear that. Again, we are now witnessing the same thing happen. So I've highlighted these two areas as points of interest and potential areas to go short from. Now, when it comes to placing the position itself, depending on where price reacts from, we can set our stop loss just above these zones. And the reason why I say just above is because of spreads. So realistically, price could come to sweep the entire zone, either zone, to be completely honest with you. They're both left unmitigated, which makes me believe maybe it's going to trail up to the top one. But when it comes to placing our stop loss, we should always place our stop loss 2 or 3 pips above the zone itself, because if the zone does get swept completely and price reaches the top end of the zone, if your spreads are quite bad, I don't know what brokers you guys work with, but depending on the broker, your spreads might not be raw, and you may have 2-3 spreads. We're looking at 20-30 spreads, so 2 or 3 pips, yeah? So that would stop you out, essentially. So it's important that we just give ourselves that little bit of leverage there, just so we can obviously place those positions, right? Hoping for Aussie win, USD CHF. I'll definitely have a look at that, buddy. Not a problem. I just want to see what happens here with these, but we definitely should be looking to go short in this market. Euro USD is definitely a bearish market at the moment. We just need right confirmation to get involved. Okay, so I'm going to set an alert here, and we'll see. We'll probably get alerted any second. I'm just going to set 2 alerts so it lets me. What's it doing? There we go. One there as well, and then Euro Great British Pound. We've had the break of structure to the downside. That's what we want. This is just a fractal BOS to the downside, obviously. But what it does, what a break of structure tells us is, because obviously we wanted to see price penetrate this supply zone, deliver us with bearishness. We've had that, yeah? So when I give these zones out in the VIP chat, there is no harm in placing pending orders and just placing your position straight off the bat based on your pending orders. The reason why I like to wait for further confirmation is just to give us that additional probability and that final piece of confirmation, essentially. So that's why I wait for a break of structure to the downside, because that gives us the confirmation that the corrective wave, because this right here, from here all the way up to the top here is a corrective wave. So it tells us that this corrective wave has finished and a new impulsive wave trading us lower is underway. Okay, the reason why it tells us that is because within bullish structure, the lows are protected, the highs aren't. So we shouldn't see a break in these lows. So when we do, that means that bullish structure is being disregarded, and it means that we may now start be respecting the laws of bearishness. So because we've been delivered that break of structure, I want to see price pull back into this supply zone here. I'm going to mark this out for you all now. And you guys can look to go short from this zone itself. So 0.8. 5685 08568 and then 0.572. Perfect. Okay, so that's another zone. So we want to obviously see price trade up and into this. Path tool, there we go. We want to see bullish structure being introduced. Perfect, like so. Break of structure to happen, a break in the protected low, price to pull back into a fractal supply zone that will be found from the impulsive wave that broke the structure to the downside, and then that's when we look to get involved. Yeah, so that's a very basic setup here. So we've got the break of structure there. We've then found a last buy to sell region within the initial impulsive wave that broke the structure. and then that is where our entry comes from fractally. Okay, so that's just a common setup that we would see when we are looking for breaks of structure in and around supply or demand zones. Okay, so mark this out as a potential area. It is on the 1 and 5 minutes for the euro to the Great British pound. It's basically just this area here where we have last buy to sell orders that has been left unmitigated. So we just want to see price trade into that before trading us lower longer term. So we could really get involved in some refined entries on that. Great British pounds. ICAP in Australia speaks okay-ish. ACAP. Nice. I will got messages from people on TradingView. Let me just check this. So that needs to be adjusted to there. I don't know why that was there in the first place. So that is our break of structure. Perfect. Now we just want to see price pull back. So we've had confirmation of bearishness, whether at a break and a protected low. This is a protected low because it went on to set the highest high that price is set within this bullishness. Now what we want to see is for price to pull back and into a supply zone. This has been left unmitigated as well, which I can see here. So what I need to do with that is actually mark this out as a potential area, which seems more realistic because it's actually above the break of structure. And you'll notice as well that like when we have these breaks of structures and we have pullbacks into supply and demand zones, things of that nature, it actually creates a chart pattern, whether it's a double top, a double bottom, head and shoulders. There could be many different patterns that it creates, but it often does create a pattern, and that's how we obviously get more pieces of confluence to help build that bias to trade in that direction and to ensure that our trade has a good probability of being successful. But what I've done here is I've just literally highlighted this last buy to sell region, the last one that I could see within this impulsive wave that broke the structure. But there is also one up here, so I'm a bit skeptical. Let's just see how price plays on that. NZD CAD. Price was putting in that bearish corrective wave before it goes on now to trade as bullish. We've had the penetration of this demand zone. Price did come to surpass it slightly, but it seems to be sticking. What I want to see now is for price to actually break this protected high. That would tell us that the bearish correction trading us into this zone has finished and a new bullish impulsive wave trading us higher is underway. However, if price is not ready to trade us in a bullish way longer term, we may see price actually react to this unmitigated last buy to sell region and then go on to trade as bearish. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here with this market. So I'm just going to get rid of that and have that as an area highlighted out. Let's just check on Euro USD. So Euro USD, it's preparing, it's ready. I do feel like we're going to have a position on this market very soon. Fallen through on this. Price seems to be reacting nicely to that. I just want to see what price has tapped into. So it would have tapped into Summit. Right, okay. So if we go from this here, price has just come to clear that. Okay, cool. I do believe gold is going to go bullish as well now. So if you want to look to buy into gold, you could do. Having 1977 as a take profit target. I want to see price trail all the way up and then obviously trade as lower longer term. Let me have a little look for an entry for us. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert just above here because when price starts to break above this would mark out the last buy to sell region. So when price starts to trade above this, that would tell me that there's still enough demand within the market to trade us higher. We could probably expect a slight pullback once price trades into this area in price. So price will be trading like this, probably pull back into a unmitigated last sell to buy region, potentially here, being this candle, and then trade us up higher. So we'll see what happens here. Unless price is coming to trade into this now, we'll see anyway. So I'm going to set an alert there as well. But I'll probably be looking to go long in gold very soon. Euro USD, perfect. So spreads. Okay. Oh right. Okay. Spreads. I was unsure what you meant when you said speak okay. It speaks okay. I didn't know what you meant there. USD CHF. You want me to check? Yeah. Let's check USD CHF. It's not a market I've actually traded for some time, to be fair. Let's see what data is on there. I've got all my alerts set for all the other pairs, so that's okay. USD CHF. Okay, XAU USD's just gone off 1 second, bud. Perfect. Is price just coming to tap into this before trading higher? Potentially. That's been mitigated by this. This has been mitigated by this. That's been mitigated by, well, that's been mitigated by that, should we say. That has now been mitigated by this. I might look to go long here, slightly preemptive, but I may look to go long. Let's just see what price is doing. We can get a close, a green candle close to the upside. I can't seem to find anything else that has been left unmitigated, put it that way. This price comes through to clear that. This candle here clears that anyway. Let's see how price plays here. USD's fine, that's fine. Just got my alert. I'm just making sure all my alerts are set here. That needs to be adjusted slightly just to come down. NZD card, right, okay. And then we'll go back to, because what we could do, in fact, if we wanted to just have, placing a position here like this right now, again, it just depends how aggressive your approach is to obviously these markets. But here, we have a stop loss less than, well, it's like 13 pips, isn't it? Which is quite good with gold. And you could even set your take profit just below the last structural high on the higher time frames. But let's see how price plays out. I'll probably wait for, let's just get rid of this line. We can get rid of this now. We could always wait for price to actually surpass this high here. Once price has done that, any kind of pullback, because even getting involved here wouldn't be bad, with our stop loss just below this. It's a 30 pip stop loss, but we're still walking away with nearly a 1 to 6 risk to reward ratio. Let's just readjust. So 1 to 5. It's not bad at all. But let's just see how price plays anyway. USD CHF. Let's have a look. Weekly time frame always. Let's have a look at there. So I'm just going to delete all the drawings. Remove drawings. Right, let's go. So, bearish markets, we should be looking for selling opportunities. Evidently bearish. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the most recent impulse, which seems to be this one from here to here on the weekly. So what we should be doing realistically is looking within this entire impulsive wave, even starting on the weekly time frame. We should be looking at the entire impulsive wave. How are we doing, Dean? You okay, mate? Swissy, please, yes. We should be looking at the entire impulsive wave, okay, for unmitigated last buy to sell regions, as these are going to be areas to sell from, supply zones, given supply zones, order blocks, whatever you want to call them. So we should be looking at the entire impulsive wave for areas to sell. I mean, I can see a candle right here. That's one, potentially another one there. So what I like to do is just mark out these points in the chart and then further refine them as I go down on time frames. Again, this maybe. And I'm doing it the difficult way. The easiest way to do this would be actually going backwards, starting at the bottom and working our way up. so we can see what's been mitigated and what hasn't. So everything from here downwards has been mitigated, so I don't need to worry about that. And then here to here has been mitigated, so that's fine. That's been mitigated to that, that's mitigated that, that's fine. This, that to there, yeah. That to there. This comes to mitigate this. This comes to mitigate this. This doesn't quite sweep that. So I'm going to have this as an area as well. Cable, I'll do cable afterwards. Perfect. So we've got four. I don't know why I know I said 9 there. We've got four areas there within price as potential areas that we could see price reverse from. So what we need to do now that we found those, and I know this seems like a long way of doing things, but trust me, this is probably one of the best ways of doing it. We obviously understand that this market is trading as bearish because we've had clear bearish structure. So we can just look at the most recent impulsive wave that's traded as lower for any valid supply zones. We've distinguished 4 potential areas. We now have a target, or we now have some target, should I say, for price to trail up to. Yeah. So not only is it giving us areas to potentially sell from as a longer term thing, but it's also given us a take profit target if we want to look to buy into this market. Yeah. So that's fine. Let me just check gold quickly. Still respecting supply. Let's just see what happens. My entry will probably come, even if we saw a break of structure fractally on here. So say that we were delivered with a BOS here now. I'd probably to enter. So I am actually going to set an alert here, and then my potential position would be, so it'd literally just be like this. It'd be up, a break of structure to the upside that confirms an end to this correction here. Price pulls back, we get involved in the market on those buy positions. Let's just see how price plays, yeah? Let me just change that, make it a bit neater. BOS, perfect. Right, USD CHF, so go back to the daily. What I'm doing now is basically just refining these supply zones just to ensure that they are in fact valid. Sometimes they may seem valid, and then when we look at them closer, they're not. So I'm just going to refine this to here. And then we'll go down and check that in a moment. Again, with this one, perfect. That seems right to me. I'm just going to refine it to this. And then let's have a look at this one. That comes to clear this. Perfect. We've had the BOS to the upside. So if you guys have placed a position on this before, doing well now. We've had a break of structure to the upside to confirm further bullishness moving forward, should I say, and enter this correction. So that's perfect. What we want to do now is just wait for price to pull back if you didn't get involved. So I am going to actually send out. Is there any sense to check weekly that far away from price? Absolutely, because what it does is it gives us a target. It gives us an area to work towards. And by doing this, it may seem pointless at the moment, but best believe when we are placing positions and things of that nature, it gives us a place to get involved, a place to get involved from, further down the line essentially. Right, price is pulling back now, so that's good. Be back in just 2 seconds. I'm just getting ready to put out a potential trade for all the people in the VIP chat. 1 second. I'm buying USD at, so it's probably, let's say 1934. But anyone who got involved in buy positions earlier from this, well done. You should be in profit now. I'm going to set my stop loss. So the zone finishes there. So let's just say, I'm going to say 1933. It gives us enough room to breathe. 1933, so that's 16 pips. 16 pips stop loss. My TP is Telling you, this trade's going to take off. Got a feeling. 1952, 1953, 0, and then 1 to 953, so that's 60, 160, 190 pips, and that's a 1 to 13 RR. Perfect. Let's see how this plays out, boys. But yeah, this trade looks good so far. Well done to anyone who jumped in. Let's just see how this goes. That's that. I mean, it's already running. Realistically, if we did enter from here 1934, it's already running. On there we've got like a 13 pip SL, so it's already running 1 RR anyway. Do you know what I mean? Just remember, if you are placing any positions today, take partials, move SL to entry. These are important things that you need to be implemented when we're placing positions. We should always be taking partials, and we should always be moving stop loss to entry, making sure that our trades are safe. Yeah. Did you get in at 1934 or a little after? I got in a little after 1934, just because obviously I was sending the message out and doing this live, buddy. But I'm to be honest with you, I'm actually in and around 1934.60, so I'm actually close to where I put on here. But I am in a little bit late, but not far off. Like, let's just see how this plays out, anyways. USD CHF. So, as I was saying before, the reason why it's important, and let me just go back on here so I don't lose out. Is there any sense to check the weekly? Yes, as I said to you before, there is plenty of sense to check the weekly, just because these are valid areas, and they are prices going to come to clear them eventually. So whether we look at them now or we look at them in a few months' time, they're still, we're still going to need to know where these zones are and look and have them as reversal points in the market. Okay, so I'm just going to refine my zones like this. So we've got 4 potential zones to work with as potential reversal points. So now what we can do is we can go down on time frames. So now looking at the 4 hour maybe, or the 4 hour or the daily time frame, and we can get a better understanding on how price is actually playing out at the moment. Well, if we just look at this, so we have the lowest low that price has created here, okay? And what we have seen since is actually price starting to look. It looks as though price is starting to trade us in a bullish way, should I say? So, I would say that this high here is the one that set this low. Okay, so in order for me to look for longer term bullish positions, I want to see a break in this high. That's longer term bullish positions, should I say? So let me just move that to there. Perfect. Now, if we look at this market, zooming in, and we look at this data here, let's have a little gander. Prices come to set a low, prices then set a higher low, prices set a high, okay. I believe price is going to continue bullish. Again, we should have shortfall targets just in case. So I'm going to mark this out as an area to take profit from if we place any buy positions. Just because realistically, we do need to be cautious on price. Price, to be honest with you, looks as though it's consolidating. It's actually within a range on the higher time frame structure. But using initiative, I mean, and looking at this, it looks as though it is preparing for an up move. Again, if I go back to the weekly time frames, we can see how price came to set a low, okay? And we have had price accumulate. It looks as though price is accumulating. But again, it's a bit of a weird market. This is probably one of the reasons as to why I've not traded it in some time, because I mean, if we look at this, that just to me just doesn't look very appetizing, to say the least. There are other markets out there giving us clear trends, areas to pull back into, clear directions in the market. This is a bearish market, but I feel price is stuck within this range. It's probably accumulating, which is in preparation for an up move. We just want to start to see price react nicely to these demand zones. Once we have that, we could probably start to look to buy into this market. I mean, I could mark a last buy to sell, a last sell to buy, should I say, here. We can see how price has reacted perfectly to it, but we've not really had any clear motive to say that price is ready to now move bullish. I'd mark this out as a last high. If we had a break of structure here, price to pull back, then yes, I'd probably look to get into this market. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I would just scrap USD CHF and I would look at other pairs. That's my advice there. There are plenty of other markets to. No worries, Nathan. There are other markets out there that are giving us better data. You know what I mean? Clearer data, should I say? If there's any other markets as well, let me know. But I would say I want to break in this high anyway. So if you want to mark this out, just have a look on the right hand side here. I don't know how much data. How much can you see on this? One sec. How are we doing, Privilege? You okay? I don't think you can actually see my entire screen, can you? Actually, on you can only see part of my screen. What the hell? Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just make sure. USD screen to. Just want to make sure that you can see everything. There we go. I don't know why it was doing that. But yeah, the increments for this break of structure that I would want to see realistically for oh yeah, GU, yeah, I'll look at the cable now, bro. Realistically is here. I wouldn't want to trade it unless I've got some clear direction or clear trend putting itself in. But I mean, we have seen price react nicely to this demand zone to potentially look for buy positions. That's all I can say. What's been stuck in my mouth? GU. Okay, so we've had price distribute. I've got a demand zone here that I want to see price trade into before taking off again. So I've marked out an area here, which I will put the increments out for now, just so you've got them. 1.2748, 1.2761761. Perfect. I want to see price trade into this, deliver us with a fractal BOS. That will tell us that the bullish correction trading us into this zone is finished, and then we can start to look to get involved in some short positions, yeah? We're yet to see price actually trade into this. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a distribution take place. We'll have the spring or whatever people want to call it from the Wyckoff. We'll have price come into this zone and then break structure to the downside, basically manipulating buyers and sellers. Obviously, we understand what the crack is. We understand what's going on. So I do just want to see price trade into this. I've also highlighted another potential up here as well on the 1 minute time frames. If you can have a look here, you can see that there is another unmitigated last buy to sell region within price. This candle here, that's on its own. Then we've had a lot of bearish volume being introduced, a lot of inefficient structure. Price doesn't come to mitigate that, so that could be a potential area also to get involved in. So again, the increments are there on the right-hand side. That's actually being covered by my face. On the right-hand side here, if you want to pause the video and look to add this zone and potentially short from this zone. Okay, cool. Price seems to be playing out relatively well. We just want to see bullishness being introduced here now. I want to see a break in this high, as this would tell us that this is probably a protected high within the 1 minute time frames. see if price can surpass this here. What you could do as well, if you wanted to play it safe, I don't know what everyone's risk strategies are and how much the risk rules that you guys put in place, but you could move stop loss to entry if you wanted to, just to play it safe. I'm just updating the clients in the group chat. Won't be 2 seconds. Perfect. So that's that. And where's the running man? Perfect. Just updating them quickly, because I have a tendency to just like dedicate myself. I know I should be because I'm live, but I have a tendency to like completely forget about the clients in the group chat when I'm when I'm doing these lives. So sometimes they might want an update. Why didn't you get involved, mate? You should have got involved, bro. Either way, it's trading just shy. It's trading about 15 pips at the moment. So we're looking at 1 RR now. So I mean, if you wanted to, you could close at 1 RR. You've made 1 or 2% depending on your risk. I mean, I don't know how much you guys are risking, but you've made back whatever your risk was anyway on this position for those who did place it. I want to see a break in this high. A break in this high, as I said to you earlier, would tell us that this low here is seen as protected on the 1 minute time frames. Again, you could move stop loss to entry. It depends on your safety measures. It depends on how aggressive you are with your approach to trading. Me personally, I usually wait till 3 RR before I take a partial, because by taking a partial at 3 RR, it means that regardless of what happens to the trade moving forward, we are still walking away with what we risked initially. So we're still walking away with 1 RR. So if I took a 50% partial at 3 RR, we are basically closing half of the position. So we're banking 1.5%, let's say. Let's say if we're risking 1%, we are banking 1.5% at 3 RR, taking a 50% partial. So let's say that we don't even move stop loss to entry. The price trades back and hits our stop loss. We would lose 0.5% from the 0.5% that's still running in the trade, which means that we'd walk away with 1%. So as I say, we are still walking away with what our initial risk was, which was 1% for that example. So I always I look to take a 50% partial at 3 RR. When it comes to SL moves, that depends on how the market is playing out. In some cases, I'd put an SL move in place just to be safe. If I place all the positions throughout the day, I'd probably move SL to entry just to be safe in the market. So it's up to you how you manage your position. With this, I have moved SL to entry just because I've been active in the markets this morning, and I want to ensure that I am safe with this trading position. As well as, I don't see a reason. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't see a reason as to why price needs to come and trade back beneath our entry point. I mean, we could say that this was another last sell to buy region. Price has come to trade into this. So let's just see how price plays out. Price may come down to sweep this zone before trading higher. Let's just see how price plays. But ultimately, I am looking to go long in this market. And for anyone who has got involved in those buy positions, well done. Euro USD price is probably putting in a fractal correction within this higher time frame correction before trading us into one of these two zones. But again, I'm looking to go short in Euro USD. I just want to see price give us the entry confirmation in order to get involved. Euro, Great British Pound. We just want to see price pull back into this zone here, and then we can get involved in those shorts. You can see that price is actually ready now to put in this corrective wave. It's quite obvious that price is completely slowed to a halt. We are now seeing an accumulation take place. Be interesting to see though if price reacts from here and trades as bearish, or if there is enough demand in the market to see price continue trading us higher and up and into that higher time frame supply zone that I've got marked out. But we could see some temporary bearishness and then price continue, and then obviously that downfall. But let's just see how price plays with that as well. It'll be interesting to see. What I'm going to do is set an alert there just to let us know that price has surpassed it. USD. Never heard of that pair. USD. Let's have a look. Again, just wait for price to tap into these ones. Same with that. USD CHF. Yeah, that for me is a write-off for the time being. Maybe it's DXY. AUD USD, that's the ticket. That's, to be honest with you, AUD USD is a pair that I do actually I quite enjoy trading actually. I'll have a look at it now for you. 3463. But our gold trade is still running. It's running 10 pips at the moment. AUD USD. Let's have a little look. AUD USD. Okay, it looks like some analysis has played out without me. Right, okay. Yeah, so this was actually in a one-to-one session that I had with maybe Nathan. If you're in here still, I don't know. Was this a pair that we went over as a potential? Or it may be Joseph, another one of my clients. We went over. I think it might have been Joseph. Actually, I'm not too sure. One of my clients, anyway. I went over this market with someone, and I said that I wanted to see price go bearish. I mean, price has played out without me even realizing. Let's have a look. So I want to see price continue trading goes bearish into this demand zone here. But this is probably one of my favorite markets to trade. I love trading AUD USD. I just feel it flows so much. It's such a smoother market to trade with. I don't know why I get that feeling about it, but it just is. It's like the zones and areas that I seem to mark out just always play to an absolute T. But yeah, BOS here. So price has already confirmed bearishness. We just need to look for an area to get involved in, which I've got one for us. So mark this out as a potential area. Let me just make it so it's a bit more visible for you all. Yep, that's fine. So this right here, loads of inefficient structure below. Loads of inefficient structure below, and we have a last buy to sell region. Okay, so let me mark this out as a potential area. 843 and it's 0.8. No, it's not. 685. Lovely. Yeah, I like the look of this. Definitely looking to go short. I just want to see price traders into the zone, and we can look to get involved in those buys, into those sells, should I say. Now, if we want to look to get involved in buy positions before we sell, again, that's absolutely doable. All I would say is wait for structure to break to the upside. So we've got confirmation of this corrective wave. So we need a BOS here. BOS needed. That's just a safety precaution on my behalf. So BOS needed. I want to see price trade up, surpass this, then trade down into this last sell to buy region, and then take us up higher. So we've already got an area to enter in on buy positions. We just need the confirmation to get involved. So I want to see this break of structure take place now. I'm going to set an alert here. We'll probably have this while we're on this live today. I don't know if the position will be ready by the time I come off live, but we'll see. And then that's my second alert is going to go here as a place to enter. So we just want the break of structure to confirm bullishness, to confirm the start of this corrective wave trading us higher. As soon as we have that, that is when we can obviously look for the pullback and then get involved in those buy positions. Yeah. Let's have a look. That's fine. That is fine. So we were delivered with some temporary bearishness, not very much though at all. So there's obviously enough demand to see price traders up and into this zone, which is good. But it's good to see prices reacting to the supply and demand zones that we're drawing out. So I want to see price now traders all the way up and into here. Perfect. So it's good. It's good that the zones that I'm highlighting for you guys are obviously reacting. We saw price pull back slightly there. So I want to see price now traders all the way up and into here. Once we have price trade up into here, that's when we can look to go short, yeah? So, I mean, if you guys want to look to buy into this market temporarily into this zone, again, you guys can do that. This could be an area to enter in on those buy positions. 0.8559 and 0.8560. Get rid of this now anyway. You guys know what I need, what I want to see. But yeah, we may see price pull back into here, traders up, like so, deliver us with a break of structure to the downside. That's when we look to get involved in those shorts, yeah. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this now, then do so. This is my setup for Euro, Great British Pound. Something like that. Perfect setup right there. AUD USD. I can't see what the emoji is. The emojis that you've been putting in, my mate. But AUD USD, that was my setup for AUD USD. I want to see price pull back into this and then trade us higher. I've set some alerts for us anyway. If price does tap into the zone, I can let you know. Thank you so much. No worries, my mate. And then obviously this is another position that we could look to get involved in very shortly as well. So many, like today is a very good day with the markets. We've had some good volume being introduced, which is nice to see. It's fine. Does anyone have any questions or any pairs that you want me to see? NZD card. I went over that. So NZD cards, I am wanting to see price start trading us higher, longer term. We've just had price break structure to the upside. So if I just go to the daily time frame, we've had price break structure to the upside, longer term. So this is on like the higher time frame structure. So we've had bearish structure being introduced. We had the last protected high within this bearishness. We've then seen price surpass that, breaking structure to the upside. That confirms an end to this corrective wave, trading us lower, and the start of potentially the next impulsive wave, trading us higher. What we are seeing now, however, is price coming down. Yes, it's coming down in a bearish way, but that is price pulling back potentially into one or two supply demand zones, where we then obviously want to see price take a full-on reversal, trading us higher. Now, in terms of trading opportunities, In order for me to be confident in looking to go long, I want to see price break this protected high here. That's a break of structure. That's what we need in order for to tell us that this corrective wave here is finished. If not, then I am confident in price continuing to trade us lower into one of these two zones here. So my thoughts for this market are: I want to see price. If I just get my path tool out, this would be my ideal outcome for this market. Price to break structure, this red line here that I highlighted, last protected high within this bearish correction. Price to pull back into a fractal demand zone. Price to then trade up and into this higher time frame supply zone. A shitload of supply to be introduced. That should then push the market lower and into one of two demand zones. From there, demand to then trade higher up and into the market to then go on to set new highs. Yeah, so that would be my setup for NZD CAD. So hopefully some bullishness, price to pull back, traders into this, bearishness to traders into this demand zone, and then obviously to see us up and into the markets there. So I think we did have a break even on XAUUSD. Does my strategy work with Bitcoin? To be honest with you, I don't really trade cryptos. I'm not a firm believer in them. I mean, I know that's the way the world's going, but I'm happy with my Forex and real currency. I don't see why not. I don't see why why it wouldn't respect my strategy. My strategy is based just on supply and demand, essentially. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's have a little look. I've not done analysis on Bitcoin ever. Let's see how this goes. As I say, it's not really. I just don't like trading cryptos because cryptos can be pumped, and I mean, you know, I know Forex can as well with institutions and stuff, but I mean, a lot of it is built on hype. So there's an unmitigated zone in price here. So see how price. Okay, so price reacted from this. So evidently, it does react to supply and demand to some extent because there's an order block there. Price came to trade into that perfectly, delivered us with some temporary bullishness. Price did, however, go on to create a new low. I just want to see what that actually hit. Was that another unmitigated area in price? It was actually another unmitigated area. Maybe I should start analyzing Bitcoin. Comes to tap into that candle perfectly, I think. Yeah. That whole area in price. Price has come to sweep it there, though. Interesting. Okay, if I was to analyze it from a supply and demand point of view and how I do my analysis, I would say that this came to set this low. That then came to set this low. So I'd say this was the break of structure to the upside. Price has now come to actually tap into another unmitigated last buy to sell region. This red candle here, price has come to trade into this. Very interesting. I would then say, okay, well, because price has traded us into that, have we been delivered with another fractal break of structure to the upside? And the answer to that is yes. In fact, no, we haven't. So what I want to see is now this high break. I want to see this. I want to see this high break here. Once that high breaks, I then want to see price pull back, trading into maybe this, and then trading us higher. So I reckon price will break the high that is set at 27418, and then I feel price may come back down to 25. From 25, then go bullish longer term. That's my analysis on that. That's just following my strategy and how I would do things. But to be completely honest with you, it actually is reacting to the supply and demand zone. So I don't know. Maybe we should start trading Bitcoin a bit more. No worries, Dean. Nice to see you, buddy. So I think that's still running 10 pips. SL. Anyone who moved SL to entry as a safety precaution would have been taken out in this market. Let's just see how price plays for those who didn't move SL to entry early. Let's just see. I moved my stop loss to entry just because I've played some positions this morning, so unfortunately I'm out on this position. But the analysis is still valid. I know, yeah, it does seem like it worked, doesn't it? And short USD, should I close the last one? Let's have a look. I am long XAUSD and short USD. Should I close the last one because it seems strange to be long and short on a dollar? XAUSD is long. No, mate. It's they both seem to be playing out perfectly to trading decisions. Sometimes price doesn't. Sorry, people. I'm just messaging back a client. Always correlate. Is price going to trade into this and then trade lower? That'd be interesting to see. Or are we actually going to see price now continue putting in that bullishness that we want to trade into these demand supply zones? Let's see if price reacts from that and trades lower. Gold's taken off now. Price is taken off. This trade's taken off. So I'll probably provide a full update. Price has reacted to all that. Are we going to see a new leg taking us lower? Just going to reply back to a client. Temporary. Perfect. Okay. Let me just check the chart. Gold missed my entry again. You missed your entry. Right. So if you want to re-entry here, this order block right here potentially. So 19, let's say 1935. but price is taken off now on this buy, which is good. So I'm just going to provide the clients with an official update. So you are going to see the behind the scenes of this. So apologies. So what I do is like to get it all set up nice so you can see exactly what's going on. Full screen it. And then take a screenshot. Perfect. And then we go to this. I just need to catch the post so I can find it. Perfect, like that. '97, sweet. Perfect. So, and then, won't be 2 seconds, people. If you have any questions in the meantime, please let me know. But yeah, your opportunity might be coming soon, mate. I think it may be pulling back into this last red to buy here. This last red to buy, sell to buy, should I say? XEU USD, and it was the 1 minute time frame, so it's 1 minute update. As you can see, price has traded. Now, creating new highs. It is currently running at 20 pips, which is, I think my stop loss was 20 divided by times 2. 1.4% for those risking 2%. No, that's wrong. It's running 20 pips, made a 16 pip stop loss, so 20 divided by 16. $1.25. So it's 2.5, 2.5. 2.5 RR. John. If you wanted to apply safety measures to your position, not do so. And be sure to take partials throughout. Sorry, I'm not being ignorant. Can enter now. In gold, I would say if you want an entry, it's so important to be like patient as well with trading, because a lot of people are just if it's an opportunity miss, it's an opportunity miss. Do you know what I mean? If you can find an area that price is trailing back into, then perfect. You know what I mean? Wait for price to do that. Not for it to linger around it, but for price to penetrate that zone and then give you the rejection you want. Yeah. So this is the area I've got in price. Between 1935.30 and 1935.54. Yeah. That's where I would want to see price pull back into, and then trade us higher if I wanted to get involved in buy positions. If you missed your buy opportunities before, this is your second chance, potentially, if price pulls back. There may be enough demand in the market to see price continue trading higher, but what we're seeing at the moment is price slowing down, so I'd beg to differ. Perfect. We've had the rejection of this. Price is trading up. So I want to see price trade into one or two of these and then give us bearish structure. Prices continue to trade us higher in this, so that's fine. That's working out and playing out fine. Great British Pound USD. We want to see price trade into that. That's fine. NZD card. Let's have a look. Price is holding. Price is holding from this, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I want to see a break of structure to the upside, and I can start to look to go long in this market. Potential break of structure there, pullback, perfect, and then Bitcoin. Not too fussed about Bitcoin. Well done to everyone who got involved. If you have any questions or need anything, drop me a message. Lovely. Oh. Perfect. So message him back. That's fine. Right. Just making sure I'm getting back to the clients. Perfect. Okay, let's see if there's any questions in here. How do you identify order blocks on the 1 minute? I think I'm patient. Already missed 3 entries, but now, but I'm not going crazy about it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it's important to be patient. I just know some people, because I'm just getting messages and stuff like that from the clients. I know some people are like, some people just impulsively place a position, which is like the worst thing to do. You should always wait for right confirmation in order to do so. Do you know what I'm saying? So let me just check these messages. But some people will, will just. Got a little late on the gold chasers. Got in 9 pips away from you. It's peak. That's fine. Okay, cool. But no, this trade's playing out well. I mean, people who just bought in here and have held so far, you're doing well. This market, as I say, will take off. Especially when you catch reversals, it always, you see like these sharp moves lower. Look at that. And, I do love trading gold. Gold is a market that I've traded this market 6-7 years. I love trading gold. How do you identify order blocks on the 1 minute? So let's just go through order blocks quickly. Let me just, because at the end of the day, these can be identified on any time frame. It's just understanding what one may look like. So it's just basically candles that haven't been cleared by other candles. So I just let me go to a different market. Like these are perfect examples here. This is on the 1 minute time frame. So you can see here, right? We've had bearish structure being introduced. Bearishness. We've had a close here and open. Prices come down, set a low. Prices then come up, giving us bullish structure. Prices then come back down, closed here. But what's happened is when prices closed this candle, it's opened a red candle here, or it's opened a new candle, yeah. And then prices traded lower without trading back up and into this zone. So any buy orders that were placed, because best believe there's buy orders within this candle, buy orders here, and then it's come down slightly by selling pressure. closed, and then we've just had the introduction of more bearishness. We've had there's still an order block there. That's unmitigated. The price has not come to clear that area in price, yeah? Same with this. Now, when we, let me have a look at, let me try and find a proper example. This is on the 1 minute time frames as well. So, let's have a look. So here, for example, yeah, we would argue that this was another unmitigated area in price. Now, what I would do is I would go from the bottom of this red wick here, okay, and I would go to the top of the green wick. Reason being is because it's going to take buying orders or buying pressure, bullish pressure, to push price up from the bottom of this red wick, right? So it's a buy, or the buy orders would go from the bottom of this wick to the top of this wick here, because that's the buying pressure pushing price up, yeah? So then we can see, this is on the 1 minute time frames as well. Price comes to trade in, even taps the wick of the other candle, and then trades as lower. We obviously then see that price comes to sweep this zone properly later on, delivers us with bearish structure, and this happens over and over and over again. So it's a previous candle with imbalance, essentially. Again, here we can see. Oh, is that? I think that's just the candle I went over. Again, we could even argue like this here. Price comes to tap in with that. But yes, essentially what we are looking at is we are looking for imbalance. Again, here, look. So like this is another example, but this is for the opposite way around. Let me just get this other chat up as well. Sorry, my bad. This is, please let me know. But again, this is like another area of imbalance, another order block here, because what's happened is we've had bullish structure pushing price up, perfect. We've then had the creation, bearishness has been introduced, which has given us that wick there. We've had the close of this candle on the 1 minute time frames, the open of this one. We've then had that bearishness continue, trading goes lower. We've then had bullishness then being introduced. We've then had that 1 minute candle close here, which has left that wick. The bullishness has continued on the new 1 minute candle, which has pushed price straight up, and prices hasn't come back down to trade into this area in price. So that's been left unmitigated. So it's very important to understand open and closes of candles, just so you can get a better understanding of what you would consider is within that range. But again, price probably comes to tap in. I've not even, I didn't even look to see where price was going to tap in. So it's not like I've, pre-done that or anything of that nature. And we've seen bullishness being introduced. Yeah. So, and this happens over and over and over again in the markets all the time. And it's just a pattern that plays out, once you're aware of it and once you can see it, it makes trading so much easier. So much easier. So price is running 20 pips still. Are we going to see price pull back now into this zone? Let's see. Let's see what price does. I wanted to see price trade into this zone. It delivers with more bullishness. Yeah. So people who missed out on those buy opportunities, this may be your chance to get involved in some maybe your chance to get involved in buy positions. Why not the extreme imbalance candle on your USD? Where was that? Where? Are you talking about these here? Whereabouts? Let me know where you're talking about, and I'll explain. A lot of the times as well, like here, for example, we've got an imbalance. So realistically, price would come to clear this. Price probably will come to clear this eventually. But what stands out more, what I look at it as, like stops that price needs to take within a journey, and these are just they're like footprints. They're like clues that have been left over. Yeah, they're like checkpoints. I don't know how else to. That's how I see them. I see them as checkpoints on a long path. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why this has been happening recently as well. Look at this. This is just one person, but for some reason it's come through 1,000,001 times. If you don't follow me on TradingView as well, follow me on TradingView. But this trade so far has traded us over 30 pips profit, and our stop loss was 15, so it's already traded us 2 RR. So if you're risking 1%, you're looking at 2%. If you're looking at if you're risking 2%, you're looking at 4% returns on this position. Yes, he said yes. Yes, it was to this. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it, man? Oh yeah, here. Wait, was it? Was it here? Either way, the reason why I'm not phased within this is because that's not a concern of me. That's not a concern to me because price was trading in that direction anyway. What we are seeing is price putting in these footprints. So price has put in. There has been bearishness that has been delivered within this market, which has caused price to go lower. Price has come to tap into supply zone here potentially, yeah, and then price has then traded lower, delivering us with bearishness. There's orders being left open, order blocks being left. Price has then traded higher. I'm not bothered about this inefficiency because price is going to have to come down to trade into this regardless. Okay, this here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to see. There was the actual. Was it here that you were talking about? Again, that's the bearishness. That's what I want to see price trade into to grab any remaining demand before trading price higher. So from the bottom of this wick here to the top of these wicks here, that would be seen as inefficient structure or seen as a gap in the market. So I just move this to there and then that to there. I understand what you're talking about with this, but that's what I concentrate more on is actually these order blocks in themselves. So these unmitigated candles, because that's where the demand lies, or that's where the supply will lie. The inefficient structure, yes, that would need to be cleared, but that would be cleared as data goes on. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can see here how price comes to trade into this, delivers us with a bullish structure because demand is being introduced from this demand zone, from this order block, and then price comes to clear that inefficiency anyway later on as data goes on. Do you see what I'm saying? The order blocks are where we can expect reversals to take place from. How are we doing, Main? I don't even want to try and pronounce that, but how are we doing? Let's check this trade. Perfect. I still want to see price trade into this potentially. If there's any other pairs with wicks, yes, it was the second place with wicks. Yeah. And this is another thing as well, right? So a lot of people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't include the wicks on. You shouldn't include the wicks on this, and you shouldn't include the wicks on that. Why shouldn't we include the wicks?" I mean, I can completely understand to some extent with certain things, but why shouldn't we include the wicks? Because that's still part of the structure. Do you know what I mean? I have a lot of people commenting on some of the posts that I put out. Why are you including wicks? It's important to include wicks because those wicks, when you go down on lower time frames, is still part of the structure. There's probably going to be structure on the lower time frames. What do you think a wick is? A wick is a candle just on the lower time frames. Exactly that, mate. You've literally just taken the words out of my mouth. Exactly that. And this is what I try to tell people. See, but people are like, oh, they have their own judgments, which is fine. So if you're looking to buy gold, if you're looking to buy into gold, I would say from this potential zone here, what I'll do is I'll mark out with the increments just to make it a little bit easier. But that is where I feel price may pull back into to give you guys the opportunity to get involved in those buy positions. But we're definitely seeing price, trade those lower now, distribute here. But what I'll do is I'll put in that now. So 1935.30. 1935.54. Perfect. Just so you guys have got that as well. And then we've got some other trades here as well that I want to see price. Let's see if price can react to these now. I've got to set an alert there. Let me just, yeah, I have, yeah. Great British Pound, perfect. Price is about to trade into this. Perfect. Potential buy positions on Euro, Great British Pound now. One point one. I'm going to say 2.5. Let's just see how price plays to that. It's not obviously a position of play, so I just want to see how price reacts to this demand zone. Potential buy positions here. If we wanted confirmation to buy into this market, me personally, I won't be buying into this market just because my higher time frame confluence is to actually go short, and I'm waiting for price to trade into this as a supply zone to get involved in short positions. But if you wanted to get involved in buys before shorts, you can do. From here, you could wait for a break of structure fractally on the 1 minute time frames. As you can see, we've got highs and lows. This is the last high. This was the low that has been set. So we want to see this high here at 0.8561 break, price to pull back, give us the entry to get involved in buy positions. But that could be an area to buy into, yeah? We're looking at 8-9 pips, but you could have a stop loss as low as 2 pips. You know what I'm saying? But let's see how that plays out. And this is just to prove that the method to my madness works. My fourth order is waiting there on gold. I won't break my screen. It won't tap me in the end. Yeah, I mean, it happens, doesn't it? But it happens, unfortunately. Great British Pound to the US dollar. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. That's fine. Let's see. Yeah, let's see how price plays on this gold one. But what we'll see, so with this now, obviously, so this is traded what? From here, so 1937.74, 1934, so it's 32 pips it's traded. Let me just check Euro USD. Got alerts going off everywhere. Okay, let's see. See how this plays out. Obviously, we want to see price trade lower from these two supply zones here, yeah? So these are supply zones. We want to see price continue trading us lower. And this is for a higher time frame trade. So this is this would be a very big trade if we do get involved. I just want to wait for valid confirmation to get in on one of these supply zones. But yeah, the markets are moving crazy today. So we've had the break of structure to the upside fractally on the 1 minute time frames. This is price pulling back. So I wonder if we could get in on a long here, imagine, and then a stop loss like that, and then that to there like this. You know what I mean? Let's just see how that plays out. Set an alert up there as well. There's already an alert set on that. Any questions as well, people? If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want me to go over anything, if you're unsure about anything, even if it's like I don't know, candlestick patterns or trend lines, support and resistance, indicators, anything. Now is your time to speak up and ask if there's anything you're unsure about. the perfect time just to pick my brain and get free information, basically. So there is actually another order block there. This red candle here. So between 1936 and 49. Let's just see anyway. Let's just be patient, yeah, because we've still got this one here. I've got that there as well. I just want to see. Price is rejecting well to this initial supply zone. I wouldn't be looking to get involved in this market until we've been delivered with some kind of distribution or a breaker structure to the downside. With the first OB on your USD, if price moves through, will that close the block? Your USD. This one here. So if price completely trades above this, which I'm suspecting could be a potential, because what I'm wanting to see really is for price to sweep this zone as such, pull back, find more demand, trade price up and into this one, and then that's realistically where I want to get in. I want to get in on a better price. Do you know what I mean, Andy? I think it's important that we try and get in on those sells as high as possible. So realistically, I do want to get involved on this one, and I'm expecting. But I've marked this out as a potential because this is an order block, and this is obviously going to encourage some bearish structure, which is what we've seen already being put in. But no, if price was to completely sweep through this zone, and trade above it, that would clear it. Yes, that would invalid is holding from this zone. But there is another one here, you see. So that's why I'm quite skeptical in thinking that price may come to trade into this one here. But we'll see anyway. Entity card, AUD/USD. No problem, mate. Does anyone have any other questions? What time is it? Let's have a look. 20 to 6. So I'll stay for 10, 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to shoot. I've got a client call at 6 o'clock. So any questions now quickly before I call it? I do want to see some of these markets play out. But if any of you aren't involved, I know a lot of you have probably come from the VIP chat anyway, but anyone that isn't in the VIP chat, look at getting involved genuinely, because I literally just provide analysis all day. And if you're someone that is somewhat how to be successful at trading, if you're someone that I've got like some kind of thing on my screen. 1 second. If you are someone, okay, that has a good understanding on Forex, I'm just cleaning my camera. There we go. If you are someone who has a good understanding on Forex, you understand structure, you understand supply and demand, but there are just a few things that need refining. The VIP chat is a great place to be because there is all levels. There are all different types of levels. People in there. I've got complete beginners and I've got people who have been in there for years. Okay, but the good thing is I would say it's especially beneficial for people who have more experience, because yes, I send out trading opportunities to my clients, but what I also do is give zones and areas, and then I draw paths. So I'm basically giving you the direction in which the market is going to trade in as a longer term thing. So for example, here now, okay, so I would say, right, well, I want to see price trade down and into this before trading us higher. So someone who has experience in the markets and someone who has been involved in the markets for some time may use their initiative, okay, and place a sell position here, close that sell position there, look to place a buy based on the confirmation that they need, and then go long. So they are able to actually take advantage of multiple trades based on me drawing out these paths because of the direction I believe price is going to go in. You know what I mean? All it would be a case of is you guys using your initiative, placing stop losses and take profits in the right place, and then you profit and make money. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, for people that are more new to the scene, they would be reliant on the signal service that people put out there. I don't like to call them signals. I like to call them potential entries. My group chat is done in a way where it's, we have everything is done to a thorough standard. So let me just get this up 1 second and drag this over. But you can see like the depth that we go into, okay, with like the trades that we're placing, yeah. Just going back to some of the information that we provide. So that on there, let me just get this chart up. Where is it? Perfect. So you can see like here, like just like the information. So like, yes, we do provide things like this, signals, potential entries, whatever you want to call them. But we also provide in-depth analysis, and this is obviously great for people who are wanting to learn, but also really good for people who are involved in the markets more regularly and have experience within the markets. Because as I say, I send things like this. So I say like this is a potential demand zone that I want to see price trade into. So you could look to sell before you buy. You know what I mean? And I give out this information constantly. That was a gold trade that we placed that did really well. That was based on fundamentals. That was the take profit on your USD. That was a short that we were looking to enter, but we closed that entry. And then this is just analysis from today. That was a trade yesterday. SL hit an entry on that one. And then this is just analysis from today, yeah. NZD CAD, again, given paths and tools, paths and areas to price to trade into. I wanted to see price trade bearish from this. We've seen that from here. Bullishness being introduced. We're now involved on those buys. And here, perfect. So yeah, it's very informative information on there. It's not like a typical channel that you would join. The information we provide is always done to a thorough standard. I think it's important to actually give information and give reasoning behind everything we do, because everything has a reason. The markets trade the way they do for a reason. People that say, "Oh, why did this do this?" I have people question me all the time. Why have you placed this position? I can give you a reason as to why I placed the position. People may ask, why did the markets do this? There's going to be a reason for it, whether it's fundamentally driven or whether there's been an order block, or there are always reasons for everything as to why price is reacting to certain areas and why price is acting the way it's acting. Okay. I placed a position on gold last week, a buy position. Within 20 minutes, 15 minutes, not even, we were up 130 pips. It's like nearly 20%, and that was because we took advantage of fundamental news, and we took advantage of a gold appreciating basically based on US dollar news. And people are like, "Oh my god, how did you predict that?" And it's because I knew that there was news at 1:30. I'd done my research. I understood what was going to happen. I had a good inkling anyway, a good suggestion, and that price was going to trade as bullish. And that's exactly what price did. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. It's nice to see a few people in here as well today and like talking. I did a live last week, and there was quite a few people actually within here talking, but it was more on trading view. But I've got a few people talking on YouTube as well, which is good. So it's good to stay engaged and just ask questions. If you're unsure about anything, please just let me know, man. Great British Pound US dollar. Let's have a look. Okay, prices traded us into this. Lovely. Okay. We want to see rejection to the downside. I'm skeptical about this up here as well, though. Supply zone up here. But let's just see how price plays. To go short. Trading during news is perceived to be very risky. You trade it anyway. I don't. So on the first Friday of every month, we obviously have the NFP. That is a day that I just dedicate to the clients. So I usually take one-to-one sessions with clients on a day like that. I don't place any positions on the first Friday of every month. In terms of fundamentals as a whole, we have fundamentals all day, every day. I mean, let's have a look at the fundamentals today. We have fundamentals all day, every day, most days. As long as we're aware of them and when they are happening. So today we don't have any high impact news. We had some news on the AUD this morning. The policy meeting minutes. Tomorrow we have the CPI for the Great British Pound, and we have the US dollar at 3 p.m. So we can expect an increase in volatility and volume for these two pairs at these points in time. But as long as our analysis is correct, I'm not too phased. I'll be completely honest with you. Unless the news is bad and it suggests otherwise to the position I'm placing, it only encourages price to go in the direction I'm wanting it to go into. I was looking for buy positions anyways in the XAU USD market last week, and then we had news with the US dollar come out, which meant that the US dollar depreciated, which obviously made the gold appreciate, which made obviously price increase. Yeah, so it only encouraged price to do what I wanted it to do anyway, and the analysis that I had put out anyways. Do you know what I mean? So as long as it abides by your analysis, so like Great British Pound news tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. We'll have an increase in volume. Previous forecast was 8.7. We've got a forecast this time around for 8.4. Let's have a little look. So as long as prices, as long as the percentages come back as greater than the forecast, which is 8.4, bearing in mind previous was 8.7. It has been going down, so I do believe it's going to go down more. So I'd say that it could cause price to depreciate, the Great British Pound to depreciate. We're wanting to see price go bearish anyways in this market. So again, that's just further assisting our trade. I'm wanting to go short in the Great British Pound to the US dollar anyways. The CPI tomorrow morning is suggesting that we could probably see the forecast come out worse than what's predicted. I mean that gold trade that you made 20% on. Oh yeah. Well, that's it, exactly that. So obviously I've been taking care on watching fundamentals anyways. And then obviously just did my research. If I was in on a position, let's say, I don't know, if I was in on a position on the Great British Pound to the US dollar, something came and I was in on a buy position for the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Then we had news for the Great British Pound that came out, yeah, that was coming out, and the forecast was to say that it was going to be a lot worse than expected, right? Then we understand that pair, that Great British Pound to the US dollar pair, is probably going to go down. We're going to see price go down with Great British Pound being the base currency. So I would be skeptical, and what I would do is I would just put extra precautions in place. So I would just move my stop loss to entry with that position. Yeah. So if for any reason the trade did reverse based on the depreciation in price because of the fundamental news, then we should be safe with our stop loss being moved to entry. But if the news is suggesting the same direction or it's going to assist the trade in itself, then it's at the end of the day, it's up to you on how you do things. I am definitely biased to do TA. I prefer. I am a technical analyst. I do most of my trades based on technical analysis, but I think it's important to still be aware of the fundamentals that are going on. Okay. So we've had a break of structure or prices is tampering around this high. So we'll either be delivered with a double top here, price will trade lower, or we'll have a break of structure and we can start to look to get involved in some buy positions based on the pullback. Gold is playing out very well. Oh, I still want to see price pull back into this, but it's not wanting to, is it? There's obviously enough demand in this market to just see price trading higher. But this is trading us now over 30 pips, which is over 2 RR. That obviously didn't play out very well, but we weren't really delivered with a confirmation to enter anyway. This isn't a trade that I've sent out to the client group chat. As you can see, the only thing I've sent out today is this one, which is the gold trade that we have running. So with price, unless we see price create a double, be interesting to see how price plays now on this. I've just had a message on something as well. Perfect. Gold trade. Yeah, any other questions as well? Let me know. And if you are enjoying the stream, I'm gonna go soon. But if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave a thumbs up or a boost if you're on TradingView. Someone's playing music in the apartment complex. I've actually really been enjoying doing these lives though. I did one the other week, but it seems to work out better. Obviously, doing it on TradingView and having it broadcasted over to YouTube as well. So I need to update my clients. So just bear with me 2 seconds, people. Let me just update my clients here on this trade. Okay. But yeah, any questions, stick them in the comments now and I'll get them answered before I shoot, because I'm going to shoot very soon. But I want to answer obviously any questions that you guys have got. So 38. So let me just screenshot this, send this over to the clients. Perfect. That's not the trade from today. Where is the trade? I can't find the screenshot I was taken. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah. 7:55. Perfect. Alright, let's get this message sent into the chat anyways. And I'll put this back on here for you all to see. How price is playing. My things are going crazy. Lights and boosted. Appreciate you, Andy. Euro USD seems to be reacting from supply. Yeah, I have no doubts in my mind that it will do. Bear with me just 1 second, people. Let me just update my clients, okay, quickly, and then we'll do a final briefing on the pairs that we've gone over today, and then we'll call this session a day. Yeah. XEU USD 1 minute update. As you can see. Let me just highlight. Let me just mark this. What was this? So, and it was 1935. 1935 point. Okay, that doesn't look very good. Start like that. 935, 30, and 1935, 54. This trade is currently plus. It's running 35 pips. 35 pips, which is. Sorry, people. I'm not being rude. I'm just replying to my client. I'm just sending this update to my clients. Okay, bear with me just 2 seconds. 35 divided by 14 is 2.5. Perfect. So plus 5%. So it's running 5%. For people who are risking 2% of their equity, it's running 5%. It's running 2.5 RR now. So anyone who risks 1% of their equity, you're looking at 2.5% from this trade, which is good. Just from hopping into a live, you could have potentially traded, or if you were involved in the VIP chat, obviously. Anyone who is involved in this market, I would recommend taking a partial now. This is to guarantee profits on the trade, and also trade. This position. If you have any questions, please leave them. Lovely stuff. So updated the clients there on that. Okay, that's sorted. Let's just have a final run through of our analysis, and then I'm going to let you all go. Just going to do this quickly. 1 sec. Perfect. Super. Lovely. That's fine. Now, the reason why I take, if you weren't here before when I said this, the reason why I take a partial at 3RR is just to guarantee profits. If we take a 50% partial at 3RR, say that you're risking 1%, okay? So at 3RR, you're up 3%. If you take a 50% partial there, you're closing 1.5%, yeah? Now, the remaining risk or the remaining trade that is open, if you're risking 1% and you've closed half of it, is only 0.5%, right? So if you've just cashed out 1.5% and you've got 0.5% running still, if for any reason the trade did a full-on 360 and reversed and hit your stop loss, yes, you would lose 0.5%, but you've cashed out. You were cashed out earlier for 1.5, so you're still walking away with 1%. So you're still walking away with 1 RR. Do you know what I'm saying? So if for example you're risking 2%, you'd walk away with 2%. You'd walk away with 1 RR. You'd whatever you were risking initially on the trade. Just close that Juliet window. So that's why I always take a partial at 3RR, just to guarantee that I'm always walking away with profits on the position that I'm placing. And this trade was running about 3RR earlier, hence why I've just updated the clients there. Now this, okay, so I can get rid of this now. It's not really necessary here. Okay, price is looking good actually. We could see price put in a distribution on this. What I would say is I would mark this out as the last protected low within this bullish structure. Okay, as we know, in bullish structure, the lows are protected, the highs aren't. We have a break in every high to create a new higher high. The lows are protected. So I'd mark this out as the last protected high within the fractal nature of this market. Okay, if price was to surpass this low, And the reason why this low is the protected low is because it went on to set this high, which is the highest high that price has set so far. Yeah. So if price was to break this protected low, that would tell us that price is no longer following the laws of bullishness and it is now following the laws of bearishness. So I would. You closed early. What a nightmare. So I'll go back to gold in a minute. So obviously when we are then delivered with a break of structure, it is important to then look at the impulsive wave that broke the structure for any unmitigated last buy to sell regions fractally to give us that entry to obviously get involved in them. Yeah. So it'd be interesting just to see now how price plays, but let's have a little look and see what happens here. Okay. Euro, Great British Pound, that's fine. NZD card, nothing. Okay, so we have had a proper break of structure now on here. I'm expecting a pullback potentially into this unmitigated area in price, and then we can obviously get involved in those longs. If you wanted to, you could get involved in shorts before we go long. Just make sure, again, you've waited for that break of structure to the downside. It's very important that we always wait for the confirmation. Gold is playing out nicely. This is another thing as well. Like people let their emotions get the better of them, and they shouldn't do. Closing early and things of that nature. Unlucky. Closing early on gold. I do feel price is going to play out. What people will tend to do, and this is something that I was a victim of. So I mean, I can't really be preaching not to do it because I think everyone goes through the phase of doing it. But you would maybe place a position, price would play out relatively well temporarily. You then may see price pull back. That will then introduce fear. So then what you do is you close the position, but all price was doing was just pulling back before trading higher. That's obviously introduced fear. So you've closed that position preemptively because fear has been introduced. Then you see price trading in the right direction yet again. So what you do is you jump in. But now when you've jumped in, you've not jumped in at the right place. You're having to readjust your stop loss. Your take profit is all different. Your risk to reward is all different. So then straight away, you're already introducing doubt into the trade psychologically without even being aware of it. You are, because you're not entering in on proper terms. You're entering in based on impulse. The trade doesn't seem to play out well. You close the position in a small loss. Then what you do is you start chasing your losses. So you start placing positions, buying, selling positions, back and forth, trying to catch small scalp-like trades. Never works. Place one trade, leave it. It either hits stop loss or it hits take profit, one or the other. The only thing I would suggest to do is take those partials, move SL to entry. So if you're going to do anything, don't close a position early. I would just put safety measures in place, like SL moves or like partials. Rather than closing a position, just apply those safety measures. But yeah, like it's just a vicious cycle with the psychology, man. Like psychology was the biggest thing for me. I had a strategy on lock. I had a strategy on lockdown, and I knew exactly how to work it. I had a proper trading plan in place. I had an edge, and then it's just psychology. It ruins it for you. It's about controlling that psychology. You have to have a mindset like a robot. It's weird, but that's ultimately the way to succeed in Forex, is to literally just have an edge and understand your edge, and then literally just go for it. Do you know what I mean? And have no fear. Have full confidence in yourself as well, because doubt is another big one. If you doubt your competence, that's ultimately going to lead to failure as well. You need to have faith in yourself and your ability. If you don't have faith in your ability, then you're not going to have full confidence in your trades. So the second you see a trade not playing out as it should be doing, or as you predicted, you're probably going to take preemptive actions. Price is playing out beautifully on Euro USD. I need to end this live very soon. I did have a session with a one-to-one session at 6, but it's been pushed back to past. So I'm going to have to end this session in 8 minutes. But we are looking to go short in Euro USD. Any questions as well? Yeah, just let me know. Any questions? Any questions? Just leave them in the comments, people. When do you remove orders? Any rules about it? For example, that unmitigated zone on gold. So for me, in terms of, let me have a little look on this. So what I would do with this now, okay, is I would leave the order there for the time being. But if price does just continue to trade higher, then I probably would close the order. I don't tend to place orders all that often. I'm kind of one of them. I'll just jump in when I've had confirmation. But see with this now here, okay, so obviously I had a specific area in price. But what it looks like price has done is price has just come to pull back because there's obviously enough demand in this market. Price has just pulled back into this whole sell region. So from here to here, price has just pulled back into that and then traded higher. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think demand will start to run out, and that's when we will see price come to trade into this. So I would hold it for now. I would hold it for now and then just see how price plays. But ultimately, if a trade is 100 pips away, 60 pips away, 50 pips away, I would leave it. You know what I mean? It's kind of been and gone. Your opportunity to get in has come and gone. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant live, Luke. Thanks. No problem. It's good to get on here. I'm just so busy usually with clients and things of that nature, and obviously making sure that the people in the VIP chat are happy. I don't have opportunities like this all that often to get involved on a live session. So it's nice to be able to liaise and consult with people over a live. It's nice. So my pleasure, Kyoto. But I am going to have to call this tree. I'm going to have to call this live. We'll have to call it close soon. Price is playing out well, mate. Price is playing out well. We'll just see what happens here with this. But if you guys keep an eye on this low here, set your alert. So add an alert at 1.0911. Wait for that break of structure to the downside. Once we've been delivered with that, we can then look to get involved in those short positions based on the pullback. Yeah, the reason why we want to get involved in the pullback is so we can get that refined entry. We can get better risk to reward ratios with our positions. It's got a message on here. Let me just check this. Oh, what a nightmare. Abundant face. Sorry, I don't know why it's not letting you chat in there. The chat can be a bit funny sometimes. Yeah, the chat can be a bit funny. Perfect. So we were seeing this bearishness being introduced, which is lovely stuff. I mean, if you guys even went short from here, you could do. But again, I would want to wait for further confirmation before getting involved. Yeah. So I'd go probably from, you could even say like 8 pips. just to give ourselves a bit of leverage above those highs that have been set, and then I want to see price trade all the way down to these lows down here. It was. So we've got a 1 to 21 risk to reward ratio on this position. If this plays out, it's a potential trade there to get involved in, people. That's another trade there for you all just to leave on. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to call it a day now. So we're in on gold at the moment. Price is playing out well. We've got a demand zone there that we want to see price trade into before trading goes higher. Like that. And then we can get involved in some shorts on your USD as well now, if you wanted to. Just make sure that your stop loss is in a good position. Your take profit is at least a 1 to 2. Your risk reward ratio, should I say, is at least a 1 to 2, and you should be good to go. But I'm going to have to call this live. I'm going to have to call this live now, just as I've got a client call in 15 minutes, and I need to prep for it. Let me just check the chat. Check the chat just to see if there's anything in there. One sec. Thanks again. Okay, no. So no questions. Just make sure there's no questions before I go. It's your USD. $1.092223 is where I placed mine, and that is an 8 pip stop loss. 8 pips. My TP is at my take profit is set at 1.0739, which is 175 pips, and that gives us a risk to reward ratio of a 1 to 21 RR. Lovely. Okay. Perfect. Okay, people. Right, I'm going to go. Let me just double check. This. No questions. Perfect. All right, people. Good stuff. Right, I'm wishing you all the best. Best of luck today. I mean, if you're in on this trade now as well, it's running in good profits. If I'm being completely honest with you, you could have your stop. You could have had your stop loss very tight. So literally looking 3 or 4 pips. I've set it up here deliberately because I just want to make sure that it's a few pips above this last protected high. That's just how I do things. So, but this in itself is playing out well. We've got a trade on gold as well, which is playing out relatively well. Yeah, I'm wishing you all guys, wishing you all the best of luck. I'll be doing another live session, maybe tomorrow, Thursday or Friday. But definitely one before the end of the week. So I'll touch base with you all then. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. And if you do have any questions, if you need me for any reason, just drop me a message on Telegram. My handle is this. So it's at LAGFX. That is my handle on Telegram. So drop me a message on there if you need me, and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thank you very much for watching, people. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. As I said to you earlier, all the support you guys provide is very much appreciated. But yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one.